Hey there, Rajat here from StartupFrat, and today I've got some super special announcements, a little bit of training, and some offers for you. But before that, I have to ask you this. What's your bet? What's your current bet? We went through the lockdown, we went through the slowdown, and there are some people who emerged and said, well, thankfully, my job is still secure, or thankfully, my business is not hit as badly as the other guy's business or the other gal's business, so I'm still better off. And then there are people who have taken some decisions and they have repositioned or pivoted their careers or businesses and all of that, right? And we're still not out of the slowdown. The game is continuing. The game is still afoot. Yeah. So what I want to ask you is, what is your bet? What do you think is going to happen? Why do I ask that? Is because I truly believe that in the worst times, in times of crisis, is a great opportunity to make a killing, to make money. Yeah. And of course, making money requires some sacrifice. Sometimes it requires you to take difficult decisions and requires you to go all in and all of that. And back in the old days, there was no option except to go all in, right? You had to take a risk with your entire self. So back in the post 9/11 slowdown, yeah, I took a risk with my profession. I had a hospital job. I gave it up and I went into marketing because I realized that the American market is going to come to India big time. Because the 9/11 market, post 9/11 crash hit the American labor force pretty badly. Okay, and I said, if I have to make a killing in this market, I have to reposition right now. I didn't have a degree, I didn't have an MBA, I still don't have an MBA, but I said, I'll learn whatever there is to learn. Yeah, one degree is as good as another. And then later on in the post 2008 housing crash, I was working with a mentor who said that our company, our shares in our company will triple in the next 2 years if we are smart about this. And this is at a time when in the US, the papers were basically printing about people who are jumping off buildings and their whole life savings have collapsed and this, that, the other in the 2008 housing bubble crash. And we are out here saying, how do we triple our holdings in our company? How do we triple the value of our stock holdings in our company? By helping the company to grow 2x or 3x in the next 2 years. And that was my first experience of live, seeing somebody literally rubbing their hands, and saying, man, this is a killer opportunity. We need to reposition and make sure that we make the best of it. And before that, I had only heard people like Warren Buffett, say that, it's only when the tide goes out that you realize who all are swimming naked, which basically means that when the down market hits, it's only the very smart people who've been patient, who can reposition and make good. And these are typically the people who built the skills necessary for a down market. And then, you have the real estate investor, Robert Kiyosaki, who says that, when the supermarket has a sale, people line up to go and buy. But when the real markets, which is the stock market or the real estate market, when it hits a sale, which means, there's a down market, then people run away from it, right? So that's the difference between the rich and the poor. So I'd heard all these, big shots and these idols kind of talking like that. But the first time I saw it with my real life and I was part of it, and I was very grateful to be a part of such a story. And I have been waiting for a recession for the last 3 years because markets kind of repeat themselves every 7 to 10 years. Now, why am I telling you all this? There are four types of people. As of this point in the economy. Okay, and I'll talk to you about them. I have some notes. I'll listen. I'll watch them as well. The first kind of people are, it's been interesting. I want to do something for myself. I want to do something for my family's financial future, etc. But I have too little information. Okay, too little information. Yeah, I have too little information. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it, so I need to learn about it, etc. So I'm not sure right now. There are people who say, man, this thing is, there's too much happening, right? Too much information. Doesn't seem too much info. Okay, it's called too good to be true. Too good to be true. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, hey man, I made a fortune, I repositioned, I did this, etc. Seems too good to be true. Too good to be true. Okay, and then there are people who say, hey man, I want to test it out. Let me put numbers over here because then I'll ask you to do There's some construction happening in my building, so maybe you'll hear the sounds and all that, so sorry about that. But I want to test. I'm interested, I want to test. What do I need to do? What steps do I need to take? I'm kind of in, as long as it doesn't involve me, putting too much at risk. I want to test. I want to do something in this market because, it seems to be a good opportunity. And then there's a fourth type. What is number 4? Number 4 is, man, I need to do something because I already missed a couple of opportunities in the past. I have to do something, okay? I have to do something, okay? Have to do it. What needs to be done? Tell me, okay? What needs to be done? Tell me, okay? I want to test it, I want to try it, and then there are people I have to do it, okay? Now, if you are in the first or second segment, there's nothing wrong with that. If you say, hey, I have too little information, doesn't seem to be, something that is my cup of tea, that is fair. Okay, that is a risk that definitely is a risk, and you want to cover your risk. And then there are people who say there is too much information. Okay, I don't know whether this will be, I don't know. It seems dal mein kuch kala hai. Yeah, it doesn't seem all right. Yeah, and I remember my own situation. I bought this Bitcoin 𝐾𝐸. I think in 2018 or something. I bought this Bitcoin 𝐾𝐸 in 2018, and just the day I was going to buy, I was going to put like 2.5-3 lakh rupees in Bitcoin. The very next day, the day I received my 𝐾𝐸, I ordered it from the US. The day I received it, thankfully the shipment was late by 3 days. Bitcoin fell by like some 25% or something, and since then it's never regained that value. And that saved me a lot of money. It seemed too good to be true. Yeah, but I had to do it, right? I had to do it. So thankfully I got saved. A little bit of my money got saved. And I know there are some Bitcoin enthusiasts in this community as well. I keep seeing your post attempts and all. But that's fine. We don't need to believe in the same things to be able to work together. Okay, we don't need to believe in the same things to be able to work together. I later figured out that Bitcoin inherent value was kind of not supported, which is why that poor currency is still kind of not finding its footing. Maybe someday it will, but that day is not today. Okay, now let me just give you a little sample of why I believe that recessions hold the key to our future fortunes. Okay, why is that? Back in 1990, India was at an all-time bottom, in terms of foreign exchange balances and all of that. And the reason was that they had followed communism, okay, a more communistic or socialistic policy, which was kind of more Russia, China-like policies. And India was like, we are over here, we are in Asia, our neighbors are Russia and China, we're going to follow policies like those. And on the other side of the world, America was, promoting capitalism, which is everybody needs to do something for themselves. Don't expect the state, don't expect your employer, don't expect your family, don't expect your elders to watch out for you. You got to watch out for yourself. Okay, that's the essential of capitalism. You get into the market, figure out what the market needs, try to provide it for to the market, and there's a space for everybody to play. There's a space for everybody to play as long as the competition is fair and as long as people have the right intentions, etc. That's what America said. India did not follow it. In 1990, they had like the worst situation ever, right? And then the government decided that, hey man, this is the bottommost point. There is no way to go but up, okay? It was the worst financial period. And then they said, we are going to figure out what is required and we are going to make those changes. We're going to figure out what's required and we're going to make those changes. They made those changes, and because of that, people in our generation, especially, people who turned 18 by the time they were like, by the turn of the century, those people got to see, huge amounts of prosperity, not only because of capitalism in general, but also because of more open foreign trade and things like that, right? Now we are at a situation over here today, okay? Very simple. We are at a situation over here today. If you're a corporate professional, okay, you're a corporate professional who's sick and tired of their job or who feel at risk in their job because you're not the coolest cat in the world. You're working for an MNC who makes their money in euros or pounds or dollars, and they were able to pay you a hefty salary. But today, people like you are available in Vietnam, people like you are available in Philippines. I myself have run an outfit with 1,600 employees, out of which 800 were in Philippines. So I have a pretty good experience of starting and running a company outfit over there, right? So you're not the coolest cat in the world, okay? The demand is shrinking for Indian employees, especially overpaid Indian employees who get paid upwards of 40 lakhs a year, which is pretty much the pay range that they could get in the US also, right? An H1B employee typically 40-50 lakhs a year in a tier one city, except San Francisco and New York City. Yeah, that's the kind of money they get paid. Okay, you are pretty much in that segment, so you're expensive, the demand is low, and people like you are, in plenty. Demand supply situation not good for you. If you're a doctor, lawyer, chartered accountant, architect, certified professional, you suddenly realize that you are in the one country on the planet where there is an oversupply of doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, and architects, and you don't feel so special anymore. Yeah, and like, I've worked so hard. I myself have a professional degree, right? And I worked so hard, gave all the all India exams, got myself a seat, got myself a degree, and I'm in a place where there is an oversupply and an under demand. Okay, or if you're a small business owner who realizes that being a small business owner is not good enough, because if you have a shop on the street, every little band there is, every little social, political, economic change there is, every little health related COVID, the first business to be shut down forcibly is yours. The first business to be shut down forcibly against your wish is yours, and you're sick and tired of it. Okay, then you need to start figuring out if this is a good time for you to reposition, or you're going to wait another 7-10 years for the next downturn. Okay, I made my fortune in the 2008 downturn. I've been waiting for a downturn ever since, man. I've been like, next time I'm gonna make a killing. Okay, now what I want you to do, and what are the next steps for you. Okay, if whatever segment you're in number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, you're number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, I want you to put that in the comments box. Okay, if you're number 1, put 1, number 2, put number 2. If you're number 3 or number 4 especially, I want you to hit those numbers as hard as you can on the keyboard, break those damn digits. Okay, and take your kind of just put a stake in the ground saying, okay, this is what I want to do, I want to find out more about it, I want to do something, etc., etc. Okay, so hit those keys and let me know. And then what's going to happen is that tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to do a Facebook Live in the Hangout group. Okay, I'm going to give you some super special training. The session is going to be about 45 to 60 minutes long, super special training. And at the end of it, I'm going to give you a free gift. Okay, I'm going to give you a free gift. Now, why I want you to put in the numbers over there is that my team will tag you when we go live, so so you don't kind of miss it and everything, right? You don't miss it and everything. Whatever gifts are going to be given will expire at the end of that call. So so just watch out for the announcements. Be ready at 7:30 tomorrow. Put in your digits on the comments columns today. And tomorrow we'll do a 60-minute training where I'll walk you through all of your doubts, clear all of your doubts, etc., and give you next steps what you need to do. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.